Step back in time to ancient Egypt, a land of sand, sun and sacred stories, where pharaohs ruled with divine power and cats prowled not just homes but temples. Today we unravel the story of Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's greatest rulers, and the holy cats who helped her make history. Grab your papyrus and maybe your catnip, because this tale is full of intrigue, divinity and a whole lot of whiskers. And hey, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more historical animal stories. Our story starts with Bastet, one of ancient Egypt's most beloved deities. Bastet wasn't always associated with the domestic cat. In fact, her origins trace back to the Old Kingdom, around 2600 BCE, when she was depicted as a fierce lioness goddess. She was a protector of the pharaoh, a warrior who defended Egypt from chaos. Maybe that is why even today domestic cats firmly believe they are still lions. But by the Middle Kingdom, roughly 2000 BCE, Bastet evolved alongside Egyptian society. As cats became domesticated, her image softened, transforming into a woman with the head of a cat or a fully feline figure. Cats, with their grace and protective instincts, became her sacred animals. They represented home, fertility and motherhood, as well as an unyielding defense against vermin and chaos. By the time Hatshepsut took the throne in 1479 BCE, Bastet and cats were fully intertwined, holding a central place in religious and daily life.
Hatshepsut was no ordinary pharaoh. She shattered norms by declaring herself king in a male-dominated world. Her reign, starting in 1479 BCE, was one of prosperity, innovation, and clever alliances. Hatshepsut's trade expeditions are legendary. Her most famous journey was to the land of Punt, believed to be in modern-day Eritrea or Somalia. From Punt, she brought back gold, ebony, ivory, exotic animals, and, famously, incense trees, which she planted in her mortuary temple. Speaking of temples, Hatshepsut was an architectural genius. Her masterpiece was the temple at Deir el-Bahari, a marvel of symmetry and design. This wasn't just a place to honor the gods, it was a declaration of her divine connection. Among the gods, Bastet held special significance. By aligning herself with Bastet, the goddess of home and protection, Hatshepsut solidified her role as the mother and protector of Egypt. She wasn't just a ruler, she was a divine figure backed by feline grace and power.
Let's talk about the real stars of the show, the holy cats.
These felines were no ordinary mouses. They lived in temples and palaces, enjoying a life of luxury. Their diet? Top-notch. Think fresh fish, bread soaked in milk, and even delicacies like small birds. They were pampered, groomed, and adorned with gold collars and jewelry. Some even had their own staff, priests dedicated to their care.
Upon their death, these cats were mummified, their spirits believed to join Bastet in the afterlife. Archaeologists have discovered thousands of cat mummies, particularly in Bubastis, the center of Bastet worship. In one site alone, over 300,000 mummified cats were found.
Was any of them alive?
That's just Hollywood playing tricks on you.
Yeah, well, they do make great films, though. Let's move on. Hatshepsut knew the power of symbols, and cats were the ultimate symbol of divine favor. By associating herself with Bastet, she positioned herself as a protector of Egypt's people and prosperity. But not everyone was a fan. Hatshepsut had domestic rivals, like her stepson Thutmose III, and foreign enemies who aligned with different animals.
The Hittites, for example, revered the eagle, a bird of prey symbolizing strength and dominance. But cats weren't just for the elite. Rich or poor, Egyptians valued cats for their practical and spiritual benefits. While the wealthy could adorn their cats with gold, even common families cared for their cats with reverence, knowing they were protectors in this life and guides in the next. After Hatshepsut's death, her stepson Thutmose III tried to erase her memory, defacing her statues and removing her name from monuments. Why? Likely to assert his authority and diminish her unprecedented legacy. But despite his efforts, one thing he didn't touch was the cats. Why? Perhaps he feared divine retribution from Bastet, or perhaps the cats were simply too beloved by the people. Either way, the sacred status of cats remained unchallenged, and their worship continued for centuries. It's ironic, isn't it? Hatshepsut's name was almost lost to history, but the holy cats, her silent allies, remained eternal symbols of Egyptian culture.
So the next time your cat stares at you like they own the place, remember, they're channeling a legacy of divinity, protection and power that stretches back thousands of years. From Bastet to Hatshepsut, cats have truly earned their spot in history.
And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more tales of historical animals.